Please all stand and quit. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Bamber, absent. Betcher. Here. McNally.
Here.
Laker. Here. Townsend. Houlihan.
Here.
Osentowski.
Here.
Gales.
Yeah.
All right. Motion to approve the agenda?
Need to amend the agenda,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Chairperson. Number 4, business survey, under new business.
Go for the survey.
Business survey, business.
I move to accept the agenda as amended.
Support.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve the minutes, please. Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I approve that.
Jason and who supported that? Somebody that one? Andy? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request to be on the agenda, we have Marissa Irish. And second of County Road Commission.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so, I'm Marissa Irish from Saginaw County Road Commission, Director of Engineering. I was asked to come and give an update on the work that's being done on Dixie Highway. If you have any questions, really, I'm here to answer any questions that you have. It's really a brief update. Phase 1, going on right now, they paved it and it's almost complete. They're pouring the manual structures right now. Phase 2, we're in study and design phase right now. We've had several meetings with the township. We've had, so phase 2, if everybody's aware of what phase 2 is going to be, it's from airport to junction, and it's going to widen from, there'll be a center line turn lane, so there'll be 5 lanes out there right now, so we'll widen 1 lane on each side. We have had a preliminary meeting already with the DEQ, so there's 3 culvert crossings through the area. We were originally not anticipating having to remove those. We will be removing those. So we have, I guess, preliminary approval from the DEQ. We have to get permits from there. Because we weren't anticipating culvert replacement, there was no utility involvement that we were anticipating. Now, because of the culverts that are going to be replaced, there's one right outside the office here, there's one at Candlelight, and there's one at Airport, and there's water main conflict at all 3 of them. So we do know that we have to do some water main relocation. We're also looking at the design of how we can shorten up the culvert impacts so that, to limit the water main impacts. That's also being looked at. What else we had? A meeting just, a couple weeks ago, I guess now it was, with the township and our consultant to discuss exactly what we needed to do with the water main between the city of Saginaw and Bridgeport Township. So that's all in the works. And then I'm not sure if everybody's aware this is a grant. So we got an economic development grant. So we're working with where some of the money is coming from. We're working with a representative out of Chicago, Illinois. So he's our federal liaison, I guess. So everything that we do not only goes through our normal approval steps and processes, but also has to go through the EDA, is what we call them, for their process of approval. So anything that we do to change the scope or to increase cost or change schedule or need right away or anything, that they're all specific approvals that we have to go through the processes and approvals. Does anybody have any questions about the project itself? What it's going to be?
It's a complete reconstruction.
It will not be a complete reconstruction, it will be a rehab. So the cross-section of the road, there's about, maybe you'll misquote it, we had soil borings done, cross-section section of the road is about 10 inches of concrete underneath 8 inches of asphalt, HMA. And the concrete is 100 years old, over 100 years old, and it's in actually very good condition. The subsurface is very poor. It's almost liquefied. So basically, this is all information that we obtained once we did the cores, the pavement cores. So the subsurface underneath is so poor. The concrete is basically floating. It's a slab that's floating, and with the materials that we have now, if we were to do a full reconstruct and open that up, it would increase the product cost extensively. You can't build on this material. So we're gonna do a rehab. The existing concrete is gonna be left in place. It's a good base to work from. We'll mill off the HMA that's there, and we'll put new HMA on top. And then, as I said, we have to widen each side, so they'll be trenched in, 10, 18 inches deep, and then we'll build the widened lanes to make up 5 lanes. So it'll end up being 5 lanes with 4-foot shoulders and 2-foot aggregate. Any other questions?
When is phase 1 supposed to be completed?
Oh, well, it's completed now. As far as paving, they're completed now. They should be wrapped up in the next couple of weeks and have everything picked up.
And then they'll probably wait until next year to start pavement on the other half, or?
Well, the design isn't complete, so we're still doing the design. It's water main through kind of a little wrench in our schedule, so we have to, work backwards a little bit to get the water main redesigned and so that we can relocate it. And then the process, everything has to be approved through the EDA, and that's about a 3-month approval process for us to actually advertise and get a contractor. So we're hoping to have a contractor on board spring of next year. Obviously, we would start probably with the water main work, and then pavement reconstruction would be, through the summer of next year.
So I have a question about the project itself. We're on the beautification committee, and so one of the things we had hoped with this project is that there would be some way to get some street lighting, but most importantly to me has been some sort of bike traffic / trail out towards the junction area, since we have that sidewalk that was started under I-75's Orwood Pass. It would be really cool if we could hook onto that and carry it out. And I'm sure they've told you that there was someone on the board that's kind of going to tackle you about this, and that's me, I'm Karen. And so I just, wondered if you're still in the design phase and there's already some hiccups. Are we 100% sure that there's no way we can squeak at least a bike path out of there?
Well, our project cost started at $4 million, and with this water main work and the culvert relocation that we have to incorporate, we're now at about 5.5 to 6.
Right.
So there is no way. We right now are relooking at our 2020 budget to see how we can incorporate this cost into what's there. So there is no way. We had a discussion, probably maybe 2 meetings ago, as far as what the township wanted. The separate bike path was not will not be part of this project. If it's something that you want to pursue as a township or as a DDA, we may be able to incorporate it with, but it will be, as far as the road commission is concerned, it will be separate from what we are doing. So we have, as I said, 4-foot wide shoulders will be on the road itself, and that's what, according to MDOT standards for non-motorized trails, that is what we are required to put in. So that's the limit that will be put in.
Okay, any other questions for you? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, public comments. Would anybody like to make a public comment? No public comments? Public comments are closed. New business. The Miller Group listing properties.
Okay, so as you're aware, we had some properties listed with the Miller Group. Those contracts, all except for Dixie and Wiegand. They also have that property listed with them, but the other properties that were listed with them, the contract expired on July 31st. So I need to know whether or not the board would like to renew that contract or go a different direction with the properties. That would be your studio property, property next to the post office. property next to United Financial.
Have they had any activity?
I asked Larry Miller of the Miller Group to send me over what they've done. Roberta came into my office and I showed her, and I think she would probably agree with me. I'm not impressed with what they did.
Yeah, put signs up.
And they haven't gotten any bites. He just says that it's because nobody's interested in this property right now.
And Bill and
That's his
I,
response to me. So.
Bill and I discussed it, and Bill's comfortable that he would like to give a shot at trying to handle it himself for a little while, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a real estate agent,
Bill's
but I
comfortable.
think there's some people in the community that might be interested in some of these properties if they just, hey, give us an offer.
And
and I bring it back to you.
one-on-one, we might get better turnover out of it, so.
I agree with that.
I
So you're gonna
suggest it.
pursue B&S and over at the Holker property, is that what you're thinking?
I would like to do that. I'd like to move forward with that. It's on the agenda too. Down under old business.
So is everybody good with not replacing that with the Miller Group?
Not renewing the contract from Miller Group. They'll still have Dixie and Wiegand, that property down there that we combined all those properties that we got from the land bank to go with the old Gable Gardens. There's approximately an acre and a half, I believe, right there. They'll still have that property listed with them because we listed that with them after we did these other 3 properties. That contract's still in effect.
Doesn't sound like you're gonna do any worse than they are.
We're
Probably
good
with
with
me on
that.
that one, Mike. I don't think I can
I'll
do
give
any
you a
worse.
shot, Bill.
So, and if I could sell them, then, we can talk about it next right now.
Have we gotten those listed through the thing with?
They're on Saginaw Futures website.
Okay.
They're listed there. Yeah, they're there. So they have been there.
All right, so we probably should have a motion not to relist those,
Not to renew the contract.
not to renew the contracts.
I'll make a motion not to renew the contract with Miller.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion made by Mike. Right? Mike Green.
Fine.
Mike.
Business Spatial Program.
Okay, the Business Facade Grant Program, and doing the budget with the Budget Committee, I allocated some money to try to start this program. What I'm looking from the board is you okay to kind of get things situated. I've got a bunch from other communities that they do. So what I would do is I would comprise like the application and the guidelines and stuff, bring it back to you next month, and just looking to make sure that this is the way that the board wants to go with something that we could do in 2020.
Any questions, comments?
The whole idea of this would be any business within our DDA district would be able to apply to the DDA for a grant. It'd be a 50-50 grant, so they would have to match 50% of the funds, and we'd cap it at like $5,000. That's what other communities do. So we would give them $5,000, they put in $5,000 or more, depending on what the project is that they want to do. But it would cover stuff like a sign, if they want to redo their sign, if they want to redo the facade of their building, if they want to do their landscape, just to make their business look better. It's a way of us helping our businesses that actually we capture dollars.
I would just, again, question the fact that we have all of our zoning / specs requirements that.
That would all be in the guidelines, and basically, those are all set through our planning and zoning commission.
So the one thing that we had started as a DDA a long, long time ago with the township, we're just gonna pass on it, right? That document that was out there.
Unless you want to revisit it and set up a subcommittee to redo that, that's fine. It's going to take some time, but
I don't know what document you're talking about.
I wasn't here a long, long time ago, Karen, so I'm
Right.
not
But
familiar
you've
with all
seen
the
that.
interactions and everything that was going on.
Yeah. So I guess if you're gonna create specs in the facade, maybe you could look at that document again and see if any of those might apply.
Okay. I mean, there'll be guidelines and stuff that I gotta bring back to you and you guys
Right.
ultimately approve the program, so.
Right, but you might as well start with everything.
All right, well, I think that's what we're supposed to be
So
doing.
if that's a good
So I
thing,
say go
If you
ahead.
guys are okay with that, then I'll start working on that and I'll have something for you next month.
You good with everybody?
Noted.
All right. Go ahead, Bill. Saginaw future. Now, I asked Bill to put this one on the thing because we had talked about giving them more and we still have them only budgeted for 3,500. And actually, I don't think up in that is the budget committee's decision. I think it should be the whole board's decision if we were gonna help. Because, you know, we're working on the budget. If we're gonna give them more than the 3,500, we need to budget that.
So just, if I can, to go along with that, the budget committee met, we have a preliminary budget set. That's what I gave you, I emailed it out to you yesterday. It's also in your packet. That's the preliminary budget. We had to give something to our accountant, Ron, so that he can get it kind of put into the system, and that's not the final budget by any stretch of the imagination, but that's the beginning. The budget committee again is set to meet again in November, and that's when they'll develop the final draft of the budget to go to the township board and ultimately go to you guys to approve. So, but just trying to figure out where our monies are going and so forth. So I left $3,500 in that line item because that's what we spent last year. And it's up to you guys whether you want to up it or not. I know there was some talk at one time to do it, but
Do we know what other townships do?
I can go back and look in minutes. We got all that information from them at one time. I don't think I have it like right here at my fingertips.
I think we looked at it, and I think that, you know, the other townships have, you know, like, hey, this one has more money coming in, so I think it's more money. I thought we would have been a reasonable amount.
I did too.
But I don't want to raise it after we do the budget. So if we're going to raise it, I'd rather do it now. So I asked them to put it on the agenda.
But if we just do like $500 a year until we're at what somebody is thinking we should do.
You need to raise it.
Yeah. So it can go forward this year, and then if we feel we need to be higher, then
I thought it was at one of our meetings that we said we'd raise it to 35, and next year we'd go to 5,000.
We did say that was our goal.
I was going through my head here, trying to factor, I'm pretty sure that was in there, one of our meetings.
And last year we didn't do it because we have the commitment.
Right.
We did raise it last year.
We did raise
It
it.
was 2020.
Yeah, we raised it to, yeah, you're right, Jeff, we raised from 2,035. Yeah.
And that was when all the excitement was taking place.
So do we want to raise it to 5,000, or do we want to do, like Karen said, do the 500 until we get back on our feet a little bit? I mean, the road took a big chunk out of us.
Bill, what's your thoughts? Can I ask, Chair, do you mind if I ask?
My thought is that I know I have that information that Jeff's asking for. I know I have it somewhere. And I know other townships and other municipalities are in that ballpark, 35 to 5,000. You know, I think Roberta mentioned BB. BB gives like $12,000, but that's because they have next year. I mean, they capture a lot of money from next year, their DDA goes. Thomas Township, I want to say, is like 4,000, something like that. I kind of compare us to them. But then you have, you know, smaller places. I think Spalding Township only gives them 500. So that's, I guess my recommendation is we're kind of, as Roberta said, getting back on our feet. And I would recommend going another $500 next year, then another $500, and probably capping it at about $4,500 because I think that'll be the middle of the road. That'll be like the average at $4,500, I think. So, and I think we'll be able to get there in a couple of years.
What do you want to do? All right, so we'll fix that right, budget committee.
So you're up at the 4?
We're gonna up it to 4.
Okay. Ron, you got that.
We don't really need a vote to do that because.
Do we need a motion for that?
We're not doing the budget yet. I'm just asking if we should do it, so we don't
Okay.
need a motion.
All right. You got that?
Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about the budget or?
Well, that's it. I mean, you have the preliminary budget if you want to review that. If you have any questions, a few weeks ago, after the budget committee met, I sent you a kind of a cheat sheet of what each line item and what comes out of it. Karen likes to call them the love notes, but I sent that out to everybody, so you should have gotten that via email. If you didn't, let me know and I can get it to you. But if you want to take some time, I apologize, I just sent it out last night, but yeah, if you want to take some time and review it. If you got questions, let me know, and then we can have those questions answered by the subcommittee, and then they'll bring back a more of a final draft for the November meeting.
And our next subcommittee meeting, in case anybody wanted to attend, is November
11th.
11th, and 11 o'clock before the meeting. So if you want to come to that, and if not, then if you have questions or concerns, like Bill said, let us know.
11:11.
What was that?
11:11 at 11.
Yeah, okay. Oh, nice.
Sorry, can I just?
Okay.
Hang on.
Yeah, so we're doing last 11.
Ron's got a question.
Yes, Brad.
Well, so if you're taking it to the November 11th meeting, I don't know what Rose and the town board are thinking of having a final budget.
I thought our DDA budget was voted on in December.
Okay.
I think, at the town board meeting in December. Gerald, do you remember?
I think it's December.
Yeah. If it's not, then we'll have to adjust that
Then
schedule.
we'll just-
I'm pretty sure it's December.
Yeah.
Okay. Business survey.
Okay, so also last night with the budget, I sent you out a business survey, it's in your packet. This I actually just completed this last night, so I was kind of excited to get it in people's hands. And I'm sure you're going to want to take some time to review it. It's a few pages. I actually stole this from somewhere else because I'm not all about reinventing the wheel. So I kind of tailored it, but this is basically a way of getting a gauge on what our businesses feel and how can we help them more as a DDA. And I have to send out notification for the informational meeting, so I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone. And maybe send us out with that notification of the informational meeting on the 27th.
Are we gonna get these out in time for that meeting?
I want to try to have them out by Friday if you guys say go ahead and run with it. Which would be plenty of time.
Well, I went through most of it, I didn't look through all of it, because I come in last night, but.
It's
I would
cumbersome,
definitely
but
take-
it basically asks about,
information.
if they have any challenges, employment challenges, different things, what can help their business. Just data collection basically, what our businesses want, what they kind of need.
I say, go ahead and go for it.
Sure.
So basically, you can review it. If you got any questions or concerns, get to me before Friday, because Friday's when they're going to.
I'm good. You can send my part.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm thinking it'd probably take a business owner 15 minutes to a half hour. Shouldn't be nothing too crazy.
You're gonna be able to sell business owners.
Yep, in the DDA district, yes. I have addresses already, I started going through those yesterday, because we have residents too, and I don't want residents to get it, because they're not a business owner. I gotta differentiate between them. And places like Speedway, those places like that, I may go in and hand deliver one to the general manager, because the address that we have on file for their taxes is Minnesota, or Findlay, Ohio, or whatever it is. I'm not gonna send it to them, so.
So if you're mailing them out Friday and our meeting is the 27th, it's gonna take them a couple days to get back. It's not much time. Is there enough?
I don't want necessarily want the survey back by the 27th. I'm just letting them know about the meeting on the 27th, so if they want to come,
Okay.
they can come. The survey, they can return anytime.
All right, I thought you were gonna use that
No,
information for the
no.
meeting. Okay, gotcha.
Sorry for that confusion.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, do you have any? All right. Other than that, send it up.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Old business, DDA Informational meeting, which we just covered.
We just covered that. August 27th, 6:30. It's been published in the paper as a legal notice to all in the Bridgeport Township Herald. So that's all I needed to say on that.
Do you have any prep for that you need help with?
I have a preliminary agenda. I can send it out to everybody to get their input. Basically just reviewing the projects that we've done, and what we have coming in the future. So,
Any other questions?
I'll send that out, Karen. The
I didn't know if
agenda.
there was any setup or anything you needed help with.
No. Okay, moving on. The demolition of 4418 Williamson.
So we are stalled. We're waiting on consumers. I've been in constant contact with Ron Wheatley. Consumers, we're waiting for them to turn off the electric and the gas so that Heat and Sons can come in. The asbestos has been removed. And so I'm waiting for them to come in, turn that off, for Heat and Sons to do their thing. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks, that's what Ron Wheatley told me yesterday. So that they'll get in there and get that turned off, get the house taken down. It'll just become green space. And then my plan is also to get a tree service to come in and trim up the trees and make it look pretty. So I just wanted to give you the update. That's the delay on why the house hasn't been down yet. Consumers.
Thank you. Next is the proposed parking lot on State Street.
We talked about this before, and now that the contract is up with Miller Group, just looking for everybody's blessing to go and approach Bill Harrington about whether or not he's still wanting that property. I do believe he does. And if he does, then get into some negotiations with him and have some stormwater survey stuff done with Jamie, possibly getting that parking lot figured out and how we can do that. So that'd be like a 2020 project that I'd like to try to get done.
Okay, so we'll need a motion for Bill to go ahead with that.
So that's a guarantee that you're talking DDA is gonna put the parking lot in? I mean, that's just.
Well, it depends on what the costs come in at. I mean, I have preliminary costs, which I think with those preliminary costs, but those preliminary costs didn't include curbing, which I was informed by Jamie after the fact that it's gotta have curbing. So it might increase the cost a little more, and it might be out of our scope, out of our range. But I
So
think
what
it's
you're
worth a
looking
try.
for is a motion to allow you to,
I want to go and approach Bill Harrington about buying that piece of property. If we split it, he buys the one half, and then the other half would be used for this proposed parking lot.
Where you also get more steady figures on the parking lot?
Yes, yes.
What's
That
your
kind of
idea?
all work hand in hand.
What's your idea of what's that cost?
project estimate that I got without curbs was $37,000. So I'm guessing, talking to Jamie and Ron, probably adding about another 15 to 20,000 onto that. So we're looking at probably 60 to 70,000 to put in that parking lot.
I'm not necessarily against a parking lot, but I don't know if that's necessarily what we should be doing. I mean, I don't think, is that going to improve the business climate in Bridgeport?
You'll make a crap ton of residents happy because they want to walk across State Street to go to the post office.
Is that our mission? I mean, we do
I think
a
that's
lot,
part of it.
we do a lot to make the residents happy.
I'm struggling because you said the tenant of the building wants nothing to do with it, right? The post office rents a building.
Yeah, they lease the space.
And the owner doesn't want it.
So they're not gonna put in a
Not the
parking
tenant,
lot.
but the owner wants nothing to do with it. So
Yeah,
we're
well, they're
gonna-
down in West Bloomfield. They probably don't even know that the residents want
So
it.
we're gonna better their business or
Well,
building for future
I don't
rent.
know. I don't know that we're bettering their business. I mean, we're bettering service for our community and for our residents. And anybody that visits,
And the post office
Post
can
office
close
or anywhere
tomorrow.
down.
No, the post office can close tomorrow and then you spent 50 grand on something that we could have put 50 grand. I'm just struggling with all of it as a business owner. You know, if it would better my business to put in my own parking lot, and I'm not even interested in doing it, but yet the DDA comes and does it for me. I mean, how convenient.
They're not going to put your parking lot.
No, I'm just saying though, you know, looking at it as a business owner,
Maybe we can
I just
try
can't
to
see
find
the DDA doing that. I know we're better in the community by making it more convenient, but if the post office closes tomorrow, what a waste of 50,000. Just my opinion.
Would it
To
hurt?
sell it to Bill, I think is a great idea to ask him if he's interested in some of it and then putting the rest of the property back up for sale. I think that's a win. And I just feel like, you know, spending that kind of money could be used in a lot of other spots. And you could give it to your beautification committee. You know it's gonna go to the right spot now. Yeah, it's just,
The way he talks, don't you?
just my saying, Phil, I'm just saying, I know what you want. I know what you want, what you're thinking, I'm just looking at it as a.
tell you what I want. It's what residents have come in and asked me for.
Okay.
That's not what I want.
Maybe we need to find a new
Hey.
spot for the post office, you know?
Good luck. Done that. Tried that.
I've had 4 residents come in and ask me about parking by the post office and Rite Aid and that whole little area right there with State, State Farm and the ice cream shop and all of that area right there. I've had 4 residents come in and ask me about parking around that area and why do we have a dirt parking lot in the middle of our downtown? That's what they asked me.
Can it-
I'm like, what are you talking about, a dirt parking lot? Well, they're talking about the section between State Farm and JB Sundays. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. DDA owns a piece of property next to the post office. I've had people complain about walking across the street from Rite Aid to go to the post office. It's dangerous, it's a safety hazard. This is just an idea that I had. It's not what I want. Not by any stretch of the matter. This is what I'm hearing back from the community. So,
Well, the community could be helpful in complaining to business and business owner.
and again, they have complained to the post office. But again, the federal post office is leasing the building from the person that owns it, who is in West Bloomfield, Michigan, that, what do they care about their little piece of property that they're collecting money on every month from the United States Post Office?
And I feel it is dangerous, especially in the wintertime at that corner.
I mean, if the numbers come back ridiculous,
Yeah,
then I would definitely be recommending no way. But I think if we can spend $50,000 to put in a parking lot and
But
make people happy.
I don't see it benefiting the business, and that's where the money's coming from. That's my opinion, right? I don't have any problem if you pursue it, but you may not necessarily get my vote for it.
Okay.
I'm just telling you up front.
All right, can we pursue, not saying that we're gonna do it, but then can we also have him call the owner of the property and say, hey, I'm ready to talk to the DDA about a parking lot, can you contribute some money? Can you help us? Can you give us, Are you interested in helping us out? It'll help your property, it'll help your business, it'll help your people that use in your mailbox, rent your property. Are you willing to kick in some funds?
But I guess my thing with that is that property owner, they're already getting their money. They're gonna continue to get their money as long as that post office is there. As long as the United States government wants to rent that space from them for the purpose of a post office, they're gonna continue to get their money.
Yeah, but
It's not bettering them at all, it's
It don't hurt to ask
bettering
them.
the post office.
But it don't hurt to
But it
ask.
doesn't hurt to ask them.
Okay, I get told no every day. So if
No,
we,
but doesn't it feel like we're kind of soliciting businesses to donate money for parking lot? I don't know, it feels off.
But it benefits them.
I know, but then, so are you gonna go to the next business owner and say, hey, do you wanna kick in or kick in? I mean, I just don't know how we're setting our.
The US government doesn't care, it's dangerous. They're renting it, they're not doing nothing with it. They don't care, you gotta park it right across in the winter,
And we did talk to them, but it was quite a long time ago. Daryl, don't you think maybe we could go that route first?
I myself think he needs to go all avenues. If we're gonna pursue it, which I agree with what Mike's saying with Bill, so on, but if we're gonna pursue this, I like to open up the can of worms again. All right? And say, okay, can we talk to the government, postal service? Can we talk to the owner of the property? What can we get out of it? Can some of us kick in some funds? Can they pay for 90% of it? Then the DDA talks. Can or ask?
But if we're gonna talk to the US, yes.
I'll talk to the postmaster and
They aren't gonna move it,
I'll
I'll tell you
say
that.
no.
We've already tried the zip codes and everything together.
Okay, so the next question is if we did do that and asked them to put it
I think
on
a safety issue,
stuff,
we need to
and
see
then we
both.
sold that piece of property.
Presenting a solution here.
I think that's what we
all
need.
three people
I think
about.
that's what we need to have to.
I would just, you know what I mean, talk to like somebody that's higher up and when that runs that post office and say, listen, we have an issue of safety concerns and it's getting a lot worse and we need to contribute some solution here. What can we do? Maybe, if we get everybody involved, maybe something like that will help happen, maybe, or maybe not, who knows? But it's worth a shot.
It's not uncommon for the DDA to have a parking lot. We already have one next to Lamplighter.
But that's for our bridge. It's for the bridge.
Well, then I could make the argument that this would be for the bridge too. You're a block away.
And I have a question, if we ask the business to put in on that parking lot and then we sell that piece of property, then we've got a problem.
Let me get more information. I'll come back
I
to you.
mean, another thing you're not
Okay.
considering though is that we already have an investment in that property. Do you remember how much we paid for that?
It was a lot.
And the demolition of the two
Yeah.
buildings?
So look into the parking lot more. Do we want to go ahead with him contacting, Bill Harrington on half the property?
Yeah, let's do that.
He's not gonna want all of it. I already know that.
Yeah.
He's gonna want you to split it, and he'll take the half that's on Sherman.
I think we should pursue all avenues and you bring it back to us and say, hey, this is what we can do and can't do.
I agree.
Well, you can put it out there and then we can meet here later.
Okay, so we need a motion? Daryl?
I'll make a motion to approve Bill to investigate what he can do with the piece of land beside the post office and BS and bring it back to the board.
I'll second.
Mike seconded. Do we need a roll call on anything?
I would advise.
Whatever you want to do.
Let's do roll call.
Fair,
Yes.
Amber, absent, Betcher. Can I have the motion again, I'm sorry?
Motion is to allow Bill, I'll say it again, to allow Bill to pursue the land beside the post office and BS to see what he could come up with, selling it and investigating what to do with the land.
I don't know.
McNally,
Yes.
Plager,
Yes.
Townsend absent, Houlihan,
Yes.
Osentowski.
Yes.
Gales.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Jim? We'll move move on, we have no closed session, DDA coordinators.
Just want everybody to be aware that I did call Ron. I didn't get in touch with him, but we do have a plaque that we're gonna want him to come to a meeting so that we can present it to him. But I'm talking to Nate, his son. He's probably not gonna be up for that because he's not wanting to be in the. He was kind of like John, old school, and just kind of wants to. But the plaque is here if you guys want to look at it. And if I can't get him to come to a meeting, then I'll get with. I don't know, anybody that wants, from the board that wants to go with me down to the station when he's there. Nate said he's not even been coming to the station, so I might have to go to his house and deliver the plaque to him, so. I wanted to let you know that I got that done, as you guys asked. I think that's it. What I wanted to cover. I think we covered everything else.
I think so. Okay, DDA comments. Start with you, Darryl.
I have a question. This is really not a comment. Before the meeting here, I heard a little bit of pieces on the van, the watering vehicle that we do water the flowers, which I absolutely love the flowers. They look very nice. Should we, if I'm not mistaken, I tried to go through my notes, and about 3-4 months ago, we were talking about that it's cost us about, with the flowers it's $10,000, and then with watering it's about $10,000. I just couldn't find that in my notes. I'm pretty sure I'm close to that number, so I'm looking at $20,000 a year for flowers and watering. Am I close?
Very close,
Okay.
yes. That is pretty close.
Should we? Could we? I don't think it would hurt for us to look at maybe a watering truck, robot arm. I've been noticing them in different townships. That it's a one-person operation. Hit a button, the arm goes out, waters the vehicle, waters the flowers. Should we look at something like that? I mean, because we're paying out $10,000 a year for just watering. I mean, and if we're going to grow our area, how much more is it going to cost us?
Doesn't hurt to look.
It can't hurt to get a price sometime, but I don't know if they can do it. I noticed Franklin just got one, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Indian River has one. I'm just asking, just thinking. I just heard the comment about the van, the lights. I mean, we have to water. I understand that.
Currently, right now, we water Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 2 people,
I know.
$9.50 an hour. And they go from 7 o'clock in the morning until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So,
I know it'd be an investment, but I don't know what it costs for us to do something.
I can get with Ruth Ann and I can do some calling around and I can call Franklin for sure. Find out what they pay for theirs.
And I really appreciate the flowers and how we're dressing some things up, the grass cutting. The DDA looks very nice. And I want to thank the business owners, what they're doing, cleaning some things up. That's it. Thank you.
No comment.
I got a quick question. We had any updates or things going on at the old bowling alley?
I have not heard anything. Price is lowered. I did hear that.
I just thought maybe.
It's now down to about $250,000 from $600,000.
How long do they got for
The bank owns it, so it's all, the bank has it. The bank is the one that has it up for sale.
Gotcha. They dropped from 600 to 250.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Good spot for dealership.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done to it to be, I mean, if you're gonna use it as it was, there's a lot of work inside that needs to be done. You need a sprinkler system, you gotta update bathrooms to ADA compliance.
Didn't you give like a certain date for that? Like that you would kind of be lenient for that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you could work some things out on that.
I
There's,
thought you said a year or something, somebody had a year for,
I don't know about that. I know I've been researching obsolete property act, and to me, it would be an obsolete property because you don't have bathroom, you can't open it back up the way it is, so it's an obsolete property. You have to do some renovations, in which case then there's a process that the township can go through and create an obsolete property zone, which could be a single parcel. And they could get a freeze on their taxable value for up to 12 years, which would help out anybody that would be interested in buying it. We're looking at that for the hotel as well, basically.
Can I back up then? Any word on the hotel?
Last I heard on that is Consumers is going to energize the building. They got the okay to energize the building, and so the power will be turned back on. Hopefully, once the power is turned back on, that will set everything back into motion with the sale of that property. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Karen?
So along with the watering trucks, one of the things we've talked about multiple years is trying to figure out a way to plow the sidewalks. And we were going to look at purchasing possibly a sidewalk plow. So I didn't know if maybe with snow coming, you could give a little information on that, put it back on the agenda. And then I just would like to figure out how the beautification committee could help with light in the township and in the budgeting process, if there's something the DDA should do to tackle that a little bit different. That's it.
Okay. 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 Our next meeting is September 11th. Same place, same time. Motion to adjourn.
I do have one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Our summer seasonal help ends August 23rd. So if there's any volunteers that would like to water flowers for about a week after that, so come see me. Because we don't have anybody to water the flowers. So if they don't get watered for 2 weeks, I'm going to be calling up Matt and saying, you can come get them. So normally we let them go for about 2 weeks to dry out anyway because they're easier to pick up. But normally we try to keep them on until after Labor Day. And with nobody watering them from the 23rd on, I don't know how long this survives.
Are you really able to take volunteers for that?
That's what Ruth Ann asked me. She said, is there any DDA board members that would be willing to volunteer to water?
Why don't you ask her, see if she has any of those spring helpers willing to work for 2 weeks long. Put it back.
They go back to college.
Put it back in her
That's
lap. That's coming from me.
Okay, but they go back to college. That's why they're gone on the 23rd. So.
Her lap. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. All in favor?